Sana's
welcome back, RecLink family, on this nice Thursday afternoon. It's been another action-packed day, and we're expecting the same tomorrow. So we've had a huge week, and we're looking forward to winding down now with some yoga with Karen, who has been getting some awesome feedback from some of our clients. So we really appreciate all that work that she's putting into the RecLink Connect program. We will do an acknowledgement of country. And before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the First Nations people as the original inhabitants of this country. We recognise, respect and celebrate the cultural distinctions and traditions of Indigenous people and value their rich and positive contribution to society. We pay our respects to the traditional owners and custodians of the land we work on and acknowledge all elders and warriors past, present and emerging. Thank you, Brendan. And I'll just throw straight over to you, Karen. Really looking forward to it.
Thanks, Sam. Welcome everyone to yoga this afternoon. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a wind down, so it's a gentle flow this afternoon, moving through a few balancing postures, so some strength building, and then we're going to finish off with some yin postures, so some recovery postures, holding the postures for a little while as we connect to our breath, which is really good for flexibility, getting into your connective tissue. Also a good way to wind down at the end of the day. So let's begin with our practice, guys. Finding yourself in a comfortable seat, cross-legged, or whatever your comfortable position is, lengthening through your spine, pulling your shoulders down away from your ears, and then gently closing over your eyes, taking your focus on your breath. So feeling your breath as it moves in through your nostrils, all the way through to your belly, and then as it leaves your nostrils. Continue to breathe this way, and with every inhale and exhale, just sinking a little bit deeper, relaxing a little bit deeper. As you continue to breathe, noticing your heart rate slow. And just noticing the thoughts that pop into your mind, taking this moment just to acknowledge them and then allowing them to fade. And as you notice your heart rate slow down, especially from the last practice, I want you to bring your attention now to set a goal for your practice today, or something you'd like to focus on. And you don't have to think about anything. The benefit about yoga or meditation is you don't have to think. You just create space, whatever rises, whatever comes up, without the need to control it or to resist it. So when I ask you these questions, the first word that pops into your mind will be your intention for today's practice. And the first question is, why do you do yoga? Or why are you here in this class this afternoon? The second question is, what do you need in your life right now? Just ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need to pay attention to? And whatever word popped into your mind will be your intention. Let's take one more breath, guys, before we open up our eyes. This time you're going to hold your breath and then exhale through your mouth. You begin to open your eyes. We're going to start with circling on our sit bones. So just making sure there's a little bit of a gap in between your shins, not too much. It just helps with balance. Placing your hands onto your knees, let's rotate around to the left in a full circle. So feeling it in your glutes, also in your hip flexor muscles, hip flexors. One more time. And then again around the other way. left. Breathing in, exhaling out as you come forward. And again, in, back, exhale, forward. Coming back to the center, you're going to look over, you're going to take your right ear down towards your right shoulder, left hand onto the mat, up to the side, and just bring your hand up over your head as you pull, just gently pull your right ear down to your shoulder. So you feel a beautiful stretch in the top of your shoulder, also at the base of your neck. And let's do the other side. Right hand down, left hand on your right ear as you just gently pull the left ear down towards your left shoulder. Coming back up to the center, you're going to look over towards the right hand side. Pull your shoulder blades down your back here. And then you're going to rotate around, bring your chin down to your chest as you look over towards your left shoulder. You're going to come back to the center with an inhale. You're going to look up to the ceiling as we again pull our shoulder blades down our back, opening up through our chest into our seated cat-cow. Now we're going to exhale as we tuck our chin into our chest and round through our back. And again, inhale, chest open, shoulder blades down your back. And then exhale, curving your spine, taking your chin into your chest. Back up to the center. We're going to take our right hand behind us. We're going to lengthen through our spine. And we're going to twist, just a gentle twist over towards the right hand side, looking over your right shoulder gently, keeping your belly pulled in. So we always lengthen our spine before we twist it to ensure the twist is through the full length of the spine. Inhale, let's swap directions. Left hand behind you, lengthen and twist over the left shoulder. Coming back up to the center, let's place our left hand onto the outside of the mat. To the left, the outside of your left thigh. We're going to bring the right arm up and over your head. And as you do so, your right hip may want to move off the ground. You're going to anchor it back down into the mat. Bending your left elbow slightly. Let's do the other side. Right hand down. Inhale, exhale, left arm up. Bring your left hand down. You're going to take your right leg out to the side. Your left foot is on the inside of your right thigh. Inhale, lengthen your arms up. And you're going to fold forward. So as you do so, the left knee will come towards the ground. The left hip will open, just holding it here. Bending your elbows slightly. Aim is to lengthen through your spine and fold from your hips rather than from your lower back. So if you find that you're rounding through your lower back, come back slightly. Keep your chest open, your back straight, belly's pulled in. Inhale here, you're going to walk your hands over the right leg. Lengthen and then fold down again, leading with your chest over your right leg. Take your right hand on the outside of the right foot and pull the outside of the right foot towards you, feeling the stretch down the outside of your leg. Let's come up. You're going to take your left hand behind you and you're going to twist. So placing your right hand on the outside of your left thigh, lengthen, twist around again. Releasing that right hand, you're going to lift your left hand behind you. You're going to lift your hips up, bring your right hand up and over your head as you reach, pushing your hips up to the ceiling. Beautiful back bend here and heart opener in one. And release. Let's do the other side. Left leg out, toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Right foot on the inside of your thigh. Lengthen, arms up. Exhale, fold down. So just holding here. What we're doing with these slow movements at the beginning is gently warming up your body, even though it's probably pretty warm after last session. But it's also waking up areas that you may not have used. Here's your hips. With our twist will be your back, so especially your QL on either side of your lumbar, which gets quite tense after sitting down all day. Let's walk those hands on either side of the left leg, lengthen, and fold. So if there's too much pressure on your knee, you can always move your foot down towards your knee rather than having it on your inner thigh. Keep the chest open, lengthening through your spine. Inhale, walk your hands back. Let's twist over the right shoulder, lengthen and twist. Come back to the center, leave our right hand behind us. We're going to lift our hips up, bring our left arm up and over our head. Beautiful back bend and heart opener. One, lift those hips up to the ceiling. Push the right palm into the ground. And release. Good work. Let's come onto our knees. We're going to come straight up into our down dog to start off with. So here in your down dog, first of all, we're going to do some warm-ups on your wrists. So here with your wrists, I don't know whether you can see me, we're going to place the base of the wrist on the floor like this. So the forearms are facing each other. And then we're going to rotate around 3 times to the right. So you do so you feel the pressure at the base of your wrists, which is what we want. We want to strengthen them. Okay, let's go around the other way. Left side, 3 times. So what we're doing is, like, especially with yoga, there's a lot of flows. Your up dog, down dog, chaturanga, high plank to low plank, which puts pressure on your wrists. So it's really good to strengthen your wrists before any yoga practice. Let's shake your hands out. Shake them out. Take your fingers up to the ceiling, pulling your top of your fingers back towards you. Taking the other direction, fingers pointing towards the mat. Just gently pull the back of your hand towards you. Let's do the other hand. Fingers up and down. Good. Let's move into our down dog now. So here on your knees, you're going to place your hands onto the mat in tabletop position. And then you're going to take the one hand print forward. You're going to make sure your baby pinky fingers are on the edge of the mat and your fingers are spread. Now pushing down through your fingertips and the base of your knuckles. Flick over your toes, take your hips up to the ceiling. Okay, so with your down dog here, you can take your feet to the edge of the mat if that's more comfortable for you. We bend through our knees and we push our hips up to the ceiling. And as soon as I did that, my back straightens out, and that's what we want. So at the moment, my head's forward a bit. I'm going to push my chest towards my thighs. So I look like a TP, an upside down V, and that's what we want. We want the pressure off our wrists. If your shoulders are hunched up by your ears, we're going to pull your shoulder blades down your back. So rotate those shoulders away from your ears. Holding it here, keeping your belly pulled in. Your gaze here is just between your feet, just holding here for a couple of breaths. So every time we move into our down dog, it's a time for you to gather your breath and reconnect to the intention you set at the beginning of class. Okay, let's come forward into your high plank. And as you do so, your shoulders should be directly over your wrists. Now with your high planks, modification is always drop your knees to the ground. You notice that when I did this, my back didn't move, it stayed the same. So we want to keep that back straight. So always feel free to drop your knees down to the ground in any yoga pose. Otherwise, holding it here. You're going to inhale, come forward, just drop your hips down, but not all the way down to the ground. Open up your chest into your modified up dog. Yeah, so even with your knees down, you're still able to move into this posture. You're going to exhale, push back into your down dog. You're going to do this a few times. Up dog, down dog, flow. Inhale, coming forward, drop your hips down, opening through your chest. Exhale, down dog. And again, inhale, coming forward, drop your hips down. Exhale, down dog. One more time, guys. Inhale, coming forward, holding it here. Push our palms into the ground. Exhale into your down dog. Let's walk our feet up to our hands, using your core for control. Bending your knees slightly here in your ragdoll, holding onto your forearms, just rocking to the left and right, allowing your vertebrae to unwind and to release. Keeping your belly pulled in. So in yoga, we've got bandhas that help with our support and our stability. And we've got a bandha in our lower belly, which is our uddiyana. And we also got a bandha, which is in our perineum area. So pelvic floor, pull that up. And as a yogi, you get used to doing it automatically as soon as you move into a posture. You slowly start to roll up, guys, one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Good. Inhale, let's move through a flow. So inhale, sweeping your hands out wide, palms up to touch each other above the head. Look up, slight back bend, take the hands back slightly. Exhale, fold forward, bending through your knees again. Taking your peace fingers around your big toes. Bend your knees as much as you need to get to reach the ground in your toes. Holding on to the big toes with your peace fingers, you're going to inhale, hips up. Exhale, fold forward, head down towards your shins. Now here you'll feel pulling on your hamstring at the back, which is attached to your sit bones. Squeeze your sit bones together. Belly's pulled in. You're going to inhale, look up again, exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Now squeeze here, squeeze your perineum, squeeze that lock in Mula Bandha, because you're going to rock forward just slightly onto your toes, and that bandha is going to stop you from falling over. So pull it up and in, and then release. Good. Let's slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Sweeping our beautiful head comes up last. Sweeping our arms out to the sides, palms up. With a breath, exhale, hands to your heart space. We're now going to move into Utkatasana, our chair posture. Inhale, arms up, but keep your palms shoulder width apart. We're going to sit back like we're sitting in an invisible chair. Send that butt back, but tuck the pelvis in. But I don't know whether you can see. Butt back, but pelvis in. Lengthen the arms up to the ceiling as you allow your tailbone to move towards the floor. So ideally with this posture, when you look down towards your feet, you should be able to see your toes. And if you can't, your knees go back a bit more. Okay. Bring your hands to your heart space. Let's lunge a little bit more. Let's bend down a little bit more on those knees. We're going to twist over towards the right hand side, but open up the hands. So the top of the left forearm is on your thigh to help you to twist around and looking over towards the side. You're going to hold it there. You're going to squeeze in your belly and lengthen through your spine and twist around a little bit more. What we're doing is we're compressing the organs in the midsection of your body, of your torso, which helps to create a detox effect. Let's come back to the center, bring the palms back together. We're going to twist over the other side. So again, releasing that hand, placing the forearm on the thigh as you twist around. And then release, coming back to the center. Let's sweep our arms wide, all the way up to the ceiling. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to your heart, down to your sides or to your heart space. You choose. Whatever feels good for you. Okay, let's ground through our left leg. We're going to lift our right leg up. We're going to hold it here. Just come up as far as is comfortable for you. So ideally, yeah, and you can use a chair. If anybody has a chair in their room, please use it for stability to hold on to, or a wall. Excellent, good work. Okay, holding that knee there. So if you've got your stability, if you've got a wall to hold on to, aim to keep that knee in line with your right hip. And if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can open up that hip, open up that right hip to the side. Good, excellent. Let's pull up through the kneecap of that left leg, squeeze in the left glute, holding it here. Let's bring that right leg back to the center. Point the right toes, point that leg out, engage the adductor, the thigh muscles, holding it here. Point the toes like you're looking over the edge of a cliff and you're pointing your toes over, not that you probably want to do that. And release. Good, shake it out. So these are our stability. This is what builds strength, guys. And when we hold the posture for a few breaths, It creates new muscle fibers. Okay, we're going to do the other side now. So ground your right foot into the ground, big toe, baby toe, and heel into the mat. Pull up, engage that right quad, and squeeze your right glute in. We're going to raise the left leg up. One side will be a bit easier than the other. That's completely normal. Okay, now holding it here. Now we're going to open that left knee out to the side. Excellent. Let's keep that back straight. Keep the shoulders over the hips. Let's bring that left knee in. Take the leg out straight, holding it here, and squeeze. Excellent. We're going to do this again, but we're going to move into warrior three. So we're going to, again, squeeze through the left leg, engage it nice and strong, bring the right leg up. We're going to raise our arms up above our head. Bringing the palms to your heart space again, take that right leg out. But this time we're going to slowly bring it back behind us. And we're going to float it in the air. Squeeze our palms together, bring our torso down. So we look like a capital T here, guys. And then release that right foot down. You're going to release your hands onto the ground. And you're going to move your left foot on the outside of the right foot. So you're going to cross it over. So your left leg is crossed over your right leg. Okay, fingertips are on the ground. We're going to walk our hands over towards the right-hand side to start off with. So here you're going to feel the stretch on the outsides of your calves. And then we're going to walk our hands over to the left. And then release. Fingertips on the ground, let's release that left leg and then slowly roll up. Sweeping your arms out to the sides, inhale up. Exhale, hands to your heart space. Let's do the other side. So raising the left leg up. Hands up to the ceiling, squeeze in your right glute. Point the leg. Bring your palms together, and as you do so, you squeeze, you push your left and right palm together. It creates stability, creates balance in our balancing postures. And then we're going to slowly float that left leg back, just very slowly. Your gaze just follows where your head moves. So at the moment, your head is parallel to the ground, so your gaze is just on the floor in front of your mat. Squeezing in that left glute. And then release the left foot down to the ground, but bring it on the outside of the right foot. So you're crossing the left leg across the right leg. Move the hands over to the left-hand side first, getting the stretch on the outside of the right calf. And then move it over to the right-hand side. Moving your hands back to the center. Let's release that left leg back. Sweeping your arms out wide, pushing your feet into the ground as you release and come all the way up. Bringing your hands to your heart space. Now we're going to move into a triangle posture, and we're going to do a revolving triangle after that. So we're going to lift up our right leg, take it back behind us. Our right foot is facing out to the side. So 90-degree angle, your left foot's facing forward. Now here in this posture, you're going to ground through your left foot, your front foot, so push the big base of the big toe and the heel into the ground for your stability. Now you can track your feet. You can bring your feet in line with your hips if there's a balance issue for you. Okay, push it down through the outside edge of your right foot. You're going to slide your left hand down your thigh, just slowly, and we're going to keep our shoulders in line with our hips as we do that. We push our hips back behind us. We're going to bring our right arm up and above our head. So just again, slowly lower that left hand down your leg. So you just come down as far as you feel like you're going to tip your chest forward. So we don't want that tipping of the chest forward. We want to keep the shoulders in line with the hips. So you may be up here today, and that's fine. You may be a bit lower. Lift the right arm up. Now I'll come to the side. Now if you've got shoulder issues and you can't raise your right arm up, you're just going to leave it on your hip, the right hand on your hip, and roll that right shoulder back. Now with your left leg, you're going to pull them in towards each other. Just a slight micro bend in that left knee, holding it here. Just looking up to the side, or if you've got your arm up, you can take your gaze up to the arm. So you'll feel a stretch in your QL, in your lower lumbar, on the side of your lower lumbar. Open up your chest, rotate from your belly button, so rotate that belly button up to the ceiling. Okay, and relax. Release that right hand down, place it on your hip, pushing through the left foot, inhale, coming up. Let's do the other side. So rotate your right foot straight ahead, left foot facing out to the side. Again, I'm just going to slide the hand down and then bring the left arm up. And then you slide it down as far as you would like to today, making sure that your shoulders stay in line with your hips. Remember, as you do so, you push down to the outside edge of that left foot, that back foot, and you'll feel the stretch, not only in the left, only in the left hip, but also in your lower back. That's what we want. Raise the left arm up, pull the insides of the legs together. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1, and release. Taking your arms up. Rotate that right foot in. And now we're going to do it again, but we're going to do a twist, a Paravrita. So we're going to take our left foot facing forward again. This time our back foot comes in at an angle, at a 45-degree angle. Okay, our left hand goes behind our back. I'm just holding it on my back here. Your right arm reaches up, lengthen, and then we're going to reach from our hips, push our hips back, reach that hand down. Again, that hand can be on the inside, just on your shin here, and then you can rotate around like this, rolling that left shoulder back. So try to track your feet if you've got balance issues, or you can take that hand all the way down to the ground, onto the mat. You may want to make your stance a little bit wider, so take your front foot forward a little bit more so you can touch the mat. Yeah, cool. Now holding it here, you're going to breathe and you're going to rotate your chest around a little bit more towards the left. Your left arm can be up to the ceiling or just your left hand onto your hip. Keeping your belly pulled in, holding it here. Lengthen through your spine, twist around a little bit more. And then release. Slowly come up. Place your hands on your hips. We're going to swap the directions. So the right foot facing forward this time, left foot at a 45-degree angle. So if anybody wants to use props or has props for such as blocks for their practice, please feel free to use them. Okay. Left hand, right hand behind you. Left hand, reach it forward and then take it down towards the mat. Now, you can stay here. If this is challenging you, just stay here without the twist. So just holding it here and then taking your gaze to the right lightly. If you want more of a challenge, take that right arm up, turn your whole head around towards the right, or take your gaze up towards that hand, keeping your belly pulled in, holding it here. And release. Inhale, coming up, taking your arms wide, placing them on your hips. So both feet are parallel to each other now. Then we'll lengthen through our spine and then fold forward. Placing your hands on the floor just in front of you. Left hand on the mat, just under your head. You're going to take your right arm up to the ceiling for your twist. Good. Turn your gaze towards the right hand side. Let's bring the right hand down. Let's do the other side. Left arm up. Bring your left hand onto the mat. Both of the hands are on the mat in front of you. You're going to rock back. So you're going to lift your toes off the ground and your heels are still on the mat. And then you're going to move the opposite direction. So rock forward, come onto your toes, lift your heels up. We'll do that a couple of times. Heels down, toes up. Toes down, heels up. And relax. We're going to start to heel toe our feet, our legs together. We're going to come down into our Yogi Squat. So taking your knees nice and wide. The feet are in the same direction of the knees. The knees are tracking over the feet. Good. Just holding it here and breathing. And when you're ready, bring your hands forward. Slowly come onto sit onto your mat with your legs facing forward. So here, if you've got a cushion or a pillow, you want to place it under your knee for your Paschimottanasana, especially if you've got tight hamstrings. Taking both legs forward. Lengthening through your arms. And then you're just going to gently fold forward. Notice my back is straight. Now, again, if you've got lower back issues or if you're like this and folding from your lower back, you may want to raise your hips onto a pillow or cushion. So the stretch here should be at the back of your legs. There should be no pressure on your lower back. So sometimes people like to use a blanket to raise your hips up slightly and fold forward. Keep your chest open. Just placing your hands either on your shins. If you can reach your toes, take your peace fingers around your big toes. Lengthen, hold it here. And release. I'm going to turn around towards the front so you can see me. Still sitting on my blanket. I'm going to take my legs wide into straddle. I'll just show you what happens when you are sitting on a blanket on the edge. So when we sit on the edge of the blanket, I don't know whether you can notice, but my hips tilt forward. And that's what we want. And that will help to take the pressure off your lower back. So sitting on the edge of the blanket, lengthening through your arms, and then we fold forward, placing your hands on the mat. Just walking them forward, keeping your chest open and holding here for our yin straddle pose. Holding here, just bowing your head and closing over your eyes. We're going to hold here for a good minute or two. Just focusing on your breath. So in our yin postures, it's about getting a good stretch in without causing any pain or injury to your body. So this is our recovery style of yoga. And it's often something that a lot of people don't do when they do an active workout at the gym or maybe a sport, is they don't spend enough time stretching, and that's how injuries occur. And the good thing about yin is that once you get into the connective tissue, once you get that flexibility, it helps with functional movement, but it stays there as well. So my flexibility has improved since I started yoga. I was struggling before. In this posture, your knees are pointing up to the ceiling and so are your feet. So you feel the stretch all the way down the backs of your legs, all the way into your groin, your hip area. That's where we want to feel it. Now we've been in the posture for a minute, so we're going to move to the next edge. So taking your hands a little bit forward if you can, to bring that first level of tension back that we first felt when we first moved into the posture. That starts to fade because our body starts to adjust the longer we hold in the posture. Maybe after 30 seconds, it starts to fade. Our body starts to adjust, and that's where the flexibility happens. It's also a good time to just focus on your breath and be aware of what feelings and emotions arise in these postures. Because we do store feelings and emotions in different parts of our body, whether it be in our connective tissue, definitely in our connective tissue, in our joints, myofascia. Let's start to walk those hands back. Good work. Okay, let's just take our left elbow on the top of our right thigh. We're going to bring our right arm up over our head. Now I'm pushing my elbow into my thigh to help the twisting around. It's a beautiful QL stretch again. If you can take your elbow all the way to the floor, that's good. Otherwise, just keep it on your thigh, hold it here. And then coming down, bringing your right hand down onto your right thigh, left arm up for your stretch. Let's come back up to the center. We're now going to move into some back work, and then we'll come back to the yin. So come back, we're going to come onto our back. We're going to bring our feet hip width apart. We're going to bring our right foot on top of our left knee. So this is called a modified pigeon, number 4 posture. And as soon as you do that, you'll feel the tension in your right hip, in your hip flexor. Now you're going to lift that left foot up so that your left shin is parallel to the ground. You can thread your arms through the gap and hold on to your shin. But if you can't reach your shin, that's fine. Just hold on, interlace your fingers and hold on to the back of your thigh, your left thigh. So wherever you'll feel this is wherever you're tight. If you've got tight ankles, you'll feel it in your right ankle. Yeah, just hold it on the back of the thigh again, placing your shoulders back on the ground. Excellent. Just gently pull that left thigh towards you. Holding it here for a couple of breaths. Flexing that right foot up to the ceiling. So the foot that's on your left thigh, on the top here, flex it up so it's facing up to the ceiling. Just takes a bit of pressure off that ankle. Let's circle that left foot, left ankle around to the left a couple of times and around to the right. So you'll feel this all the way down to the back to your glute area as well. Okay, let's release that left leg, take it straight up to the ceiling, holding it here, pointing the left toes towards you, push the lower back into the floor. Now, if you need to support yourself by holding the back of the thigh, that's fine, but this is getting into our core work. So let's bring that left leg up. We're going to hold here for a few breaths. I'm not going to hold here for a whole minute, maybe just 5 breaths. 4. Push your lower back into the floor, squeeze in your belly, and release. Good work. Let's swap over and do the other side. Right foot down onto the mat, left foot on top of your right knee. Let's bring the right leg up, thread your hands through the gap, either interlace it at the back of the thigh or on your right shin. And again, you'll feel that one side's a bit more easier than the other. So the side that's weaker, it pays to do that side again when you're practicing on your own. The side that's tighter, pays to do that side again. So pull that knee into your chest, feeling a beautiful stretch all the way down the back of your glutes and your hip and groin area. Just breathe. So we do hold tension in our hips. Our hips is one of the areas that's affected by stress. As soon as our body goes into fight and flight mode, cortisol and adrenaline goes down to our hips to prepare us to deal with the threat, even though the threat isn't that major these days. Let's lift the right leg up. Something as simple as opening a bill or even being in lockdown places our body into stress mode. And if you're thinking or worrying the whole day, then your body's in stress mode for the whole day. So things like yoga and meditation are great for focusing on your breath, taking your thoughts away from the stress. And when you take your thoughts away from the stress and come back to the breath, your body starts to release. It starts to come back to relaxation mode. And that's what we need. As soon as you know that your body's going into stress mode, slow down, come to your breath, distract you from your thoughts. Okay, guys, and release. Bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a little hug. Well done. Let's circle those knees around to the left a couple of times. And around to the right. Now we're going to get into some lumbar work. So we're going to place our feet onto the ground. And we're going to keep our feet and our knees hip-width apart. We're going to lift our hips up into our bridge. Lift it up nice and high. Good, holding it here. We're going to inhale here. We're going to keep our knees and our feet still. And we're going to slightly move our hips to the right. So just this very slight movement, you'll feel a pull on your QL on the left side of your spine. So this movement here is a corrector for your L3 to L5. Come back to the center with the breath. Inhale, let's move to the left. Just the slight move to the left, keep the hips still, keep the knees still and the feet still. Come back to the center, let's drop the hips down, bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, well done. Okay, keeping your shins parallel to the ground, we're going to squeeze our knees together, hands out to the side, palms facing down. We're going to simply just drop both knees to the right-hand side. We're going to squeeze our knees together though, like you're holding a $100 bill in between your knees. Keep them squeezed together and just drop them down to the right. Shoulders are still on the ground. So here we're working our L1 and L2, lumbar 1 and 2. Inhale, bring both knees up. Let's drop them down to the other side. Beautiful spine stretch. So your right shoulder may want to come off the mat. I want you to anchor it back down into the floor. And you'll feel the gentle stretch. Inhale, let's bring both knees up. You're going to squeeze the right knee in towards your chest, interlace your fingers on your right shin. Left leg comes down to the floor for our wind remove pose. So we're going to pull that right knee over towards your right armpit. Squeeze it up nice and tight. Squeeze into that tension at the top of your hip flexor, your psoas. Good. Let's release that right knee. Keep it just above your hip. Right hand out to the side. We're going to take the twist. So bringing that right knee over the left hand side of your body. Good. Holding it here. Now, if you want to move into a yin posture from here, if you can bring that left foot up, the left knee up, you can hold on to it. We call this cat tail, so cat pulling tail. You don't have to. You can just hold it here. In your twist we're going to hold it here for like a minute. So just breathing and holding. With the right leg, your left hand is still on the thigh. You may want to pull it towards you to feel that pressure of the twist. Make sure that you do feel something. You are working something and we're not just hanging out here in a shape. And just relax and breathe. So there's a lot of metaphysical connection to the different parts of our body. We say in yin yoga and traditional Chinese medicine, when you have problems with your lower back, it's because you feel like you are lacking in support. Okay, let's release that left foot. If you're holding onto it, bring your right leg up. Let's bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Again, let's circle those knees, loosen up the hips, loosen up that lower back. Let's do the other side. So squeeze the right knee in towards your right armpit. Take the right leg out. Pull that left knee out towards your left armpit. Noticing which side is more tense than the other. So I don't know whether you guys, you probably have heard of the yin yang. So in traditional Chinese and yin yoga, the yin side is the left side of our body and the right side is our yang. So the yin is the feminine. It's our ability to relax and let go and go with the flow. People who live a yang lifestyle, which is the right side of people, are always on the go, socializing, taking too much on their plate, and really just running their body down. Let's bring the left knee over the right hand side of the body for our twist. So male and female, we both have yin yang, we both have male and feminine qualities, masculine and feminine. And the idea is to bring it in balance. So you can have some yang, but don't go overboard. And you can have some yin, but don't be too weak. Don't give in too much. So do have that time to relax. Also do things, have things to do, but don't go overboard and burn yourself out. Okay, so if you want to bend that right foot and bring it up, hold on to the right foot with your left hand, you can do that now. Just hold here for a good minute. Keeping your belly pulled in as you breathe into your lower back. Breathing into any tension you may feel. Okay, let's release that right foot. If you're holding onto it, bring the left knee up. Just bring both knees into your chest. Rock forward. We're going to finish off with, it's a deep hip opener. Yeah, you can rotate to the right and left if you want to. The good thing about yin is that you listen to your body. So I usually let students transition with their own shape. So whatever shape they want to take after a posture is what your body's telling you to do, and it will be different with everyone. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to come up. So our posture there, we're going to move into our child's pose. We're going to bring our knees together, and if that's not comfortable for you, just take them out slightly, and you're just going to walk your hands forward and bring your forehead on the mat. Going to hold here for a few breaths. Again, if your shoulders are tight, you can bring your arms down to your sides. I'm just going to stay here and breathe for the next couple of minutes in our child's pose, also known as Balasana. So allow your hips to sink into your heels. Depending on what variation you took with your knees together, it's a beautiful back twist, a back stretch. And if your knees are apart, you're getting into your hips. But ensure whatever position you take that you have your forehead on the ground. So the forehead on the ground is about connection to the earth. It's about getting out of your head, out of the many thoughts that we have, and we all have them. And just focusing on your breath and your body. Child's pose is a pose of surrender, just allowing yourself to go, to release. Not worrying about who's around you because you can't see them. It doesn't matter anyway. What you do think about is you just focus on relaxing, allowing your hips to sink a little bit deeper, adjusting if you're feeling any pain at all, just so you can enjoy the pure surrender of this posture. If you can't get your head to the ground, you may want to stack your hands on top of each other. Yeah. And as you continue to breathe in this posture, whatever variation you've taken, I just want you to be aware of any thoughts that come up, any emotions and feelings. The pose of surrender is the best pose to finish on. Thank you. Namaste. It's the best pose to finish on because it's the last nayama, which is one of yoga philosophies. So what that's about is the last one is surrender, Ishvana Paridana, which means not having to control things, just going with the flow, not needing to control situations or people, and just enjoying the moment as it is. Okay, so when you're ready, start to bring your knees together. Start to come back into seated posture. Just taking a moment to connect to yourself again, bringing your hands to your heart space, reconnecting to the intention you set at the beginning of class. And when you're ready to finish off your practice, bring your hands if it's in your practice, to your heart space or your head, and bow. Namaste. Well, just thank you for your practice today, guys. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Namaste.